Hello, good people. Welcome to another powerful, exciting episode of Sherry the Preventionist Show. Today, it's going to be powerful, it's going to be informative, inspirational, and therapeutic. In this channel, we encourage, inspire, motivate, beseech individuals, communities, institutions, and governments to embrace disease prevention. We are contributing towards changing the narrative from curative to preventive, because prevention is simple, practical, yet powerful. Well, according to World Health Organization, health is defined as a state of well-being, mentally, physically, socially, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. When we talk about public health, we talk about 3 P's. We talk about promotion, we talk about protection, and prevention. We cannot attain the 3 P's and that state of well-being until we talk about health determinants. And one of the key health determinants is religion. In a while, you will understand why I am giving that kind of introduction. Today this is a show that you cannot exempt yourself. I have a premier guest with me. I encourage you to subscribe, to share, invite everybody to watch this show because it's gonna be transformative. This is a kind of a show, the feeling would be what a guest. And of course, if it is what a guest, it will be what a show. And now, my guest has excelled in 3 major areas. He has excelled in academics, he has excelled in business, and he has excelled also in ministry. When I talk about ministry, I am not talking about Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agriculture, neither Ministry of Health. I am talking about in the things of God. My guest has a bachelor's in computer engineering from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Ghana. He has 2 postgraduate diplomas in human resource management and financial management. He is a PhD holder from a university in UK and another master's degree from in business management from UK and a PhD in leadership and management from Kingdom Life University, USA. In terms of business, he is in food production, he is in biodiesel, he is in real estate, he is in learning development, he has distribution within subsidiaries in East and West Africa and United Kingdom. And now also he is anointed man of God with a ministry that is all over the globe. He is the president. He serves as the president of Grace Apostolic Network, mentoring and providing support to international and interdenominational ministers. He is the visionary and the founder of Grace Arena Ministries. Of course, today it shall be Grace Arena Ministries, transforming lives and maximizing potential. And of course, I am sure today lives shall be transformed. And without further ado, I wish I had audience because I would have said with a standing ovation. But you at home, you can use the comment section and use your favorite emoji to help me welcome my guests. Apostle Dr. Prophet David K. Owusu.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
My pleasure.
I am so deeply honored to have this conversation with you. Thank you so much for giving us your time and even allowing us to hold this conversation in this beautiful space. We are totally grateful. But Apostle, many people know you as anointed man of God who carries anointing with a lot of grace and power. But now there's the professional side. Please greet us and maybe tell us even how are you able to balance all that and remain grounded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Apostle Dr. David Owusu, as you have rightly heard. I am a man of God and that oversees Grace Arena Ministries globally, and also I'm in the marketplace that do a few businesses here and there. I mean, I strongly believe, many people ask me how I'm able to balance ministry and business, and I strongly believe that it's all about management.
Yes.
How well you are able to manage yourself, manage
Yes.
your time, and prioritize what is important to you. I mean, we all have 24 hours. I believe that if God knew we needed 28, He would have made it 28 hours in a day. But the very fact that He made it 24, He felt that every human being needed that 24 hours to be productive.
Yes.
So I think it's all about prioritizing what is important to you and also delegating where necessary.
Wow.
I don't do everything. I do the most important, and I ensure other people, I mean, below me also, I hand some of the things, I delegate some of the things I need to do to them so that they can also be productive. All I've got to do is to ensure the right thing is being done at the right time, and we see productivity both in ministry and also in business.
Wow.
Yes.
What a powerful introduction. Already, you know, if you're watching, you need to take notes. That is word for somebody.
Yeah.
Actually, that needs to be on a billboard already.
Yeah.
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 But just to lay foundation of our conversation
Yeah.
today, I'll give 3 scenarios. One from my personal experience.
Okay.
I am a trained public health officer.
Okay.
I worked for the government for 13 years. And I remember during that time, we would hold immunization campaigns.
Okay.
But even now, there is one that is going on even as we speak.
Yes.
But we would visit some churches and people, they would literally scream. They wouldn't want their children to be immunized. So their belief is that they don't want their children, they don't believe in anything medical. Last week, Daily Nation newspaper, the insert there was a case of some people in Kilifi who are suffering elephantiasis. And they believed because intervention has been done, they had to go all the way to Tanzania to get some kind of prayer. And my third scenario, we saw all over the country there was a case whereby people were locked somewhere. They were told by a man of God, in quotes, to fast, including pregnant women. There's a clarity I would want you to make for us, Prof. I've heard you say that Jesus Christ himself, Son of God, the author of miracles, signs, and wonders, and a disciple who was a doctor.
Yeah.
Please clarify to us. You know, there is some discrepancy somewhere.
Yeah.
Please.
I strongly believe that people need to understand the role of the power of God and the role of medicine in the life of an individual.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that God can heal does not discredit the doctors that God has given us and the medicine and the medical facilities that God has given us.
Yes.
I always say, if you check the scriptures, anywhere Jesus worked the miracle, human effort had ended. When human effort could do the job, he did not do a miracle.
Wow.
In other words, if God knows that you taking paracetamol or taking any medication would heal you or would solve your problem, I don't think He will effect healing spiritually. He can and He may, but I strongly believe that people need to come to the place of understanding that there is the role of human medicine in our lives as Christians, and there is the role of the supernatural or the miraculous, where human medicine ends or we have tried everything and we know we can't solve it, then God comes in and proves His power.
Powerful.
See, if we check the popular story, the popular miracle that Jesus performed, Jesus feeding 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. If you read the story, the first question Jesus asked them, Jesus told the disciples, go and find food for these people to eat. He actually said, go and buy food. And the disciple replied, where can we get food for all these people? Because it is late. It is in the evening. Then when Jesus realized that they could not physically feed them, then he asked, what do you have? And they said, we have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. The first primary call was that feed them physically. Jesus was not just ready to work a miracle. Why? Because he wanted them to address the situation physically. Then when he realized that physical effort had ended, then he comes and says, if there is no hope, then let me work a miracle. In other words, if God knows that there is a way you yourself as a human being can solve your problem, he will never work a miracle for you.
God has empowered us.
Exactly.
And given us the knowledge, the capability.
Yes.
And intervenes when now the human effort
Effort ends.
has come to an end.
Exactly.
Thank you for that, and thank you for that clarity, because now it has cleared the air that there is a place for human intervention
Yes.
and for God's intervention,
Yes.
and people need that kind of understanding. Now, with that kind of a background, then it shows, even from the synodius that I gave, that the men of God, they are a trusted voice.
Yeah.
And they are credible voices that people can believe in.
Yeah.
We are living in times where disease burden is really increasing. So how can the churches position themselves to be able to promote health, to prevent diseases, or what can be the role of the church, now knowing that men of God are credible voices? Yeah.
I strongly believe churches should incorporate in their programs health programs.
Yeah.
Like our women's program for the past 2 months, our women's ministry for the past 2 months, they are teaching on reproductive health.
I saw that.
So, and then even the men's ministry also taught something about men, about prostate cancer and all those kind of things. It doesn't mean there is no power of God here to heal.
Yes.
We also understand the need for us to incorporate medical doctors who God has empowered, skilled with the right knowledge to teach our men so that they can know what to do to prevent these issues of prostate cancer and other things. So I believe every ministry, every church, every Christian body should incorporate in their services sessions and times where medical professionals will come and teach the members on what they need to do to prevent certain diseases. I think if those things are done, it will really help us to prevent some of these diseases. Because trust me, most of the diseases that come are as a result of high lifestyle. If our lifestyles change and we are taught the right things by the right professionals, some of these things we will not have to end up going through.
Sure.
Yeah.
80% they say diseases are preventable.
Yes.
The communicable and even the non-communicable,
Yes.
they are risk factors that can be prevented. So, with that kind of a background, I would really want to appreciate the efforts that you are doing. I have already seen. I really congratulate you because by the time you enter this sanctuary, you are seeing a dustbin. That is prevention, because people are prevented. They are managing waste management, solid waste management. When you go to the washroom, you will find hand washing facility with water, flowing water. There is tissue. All that is prevention. And something else I picked because I did my assignment where you have also empowered the health professionals in your program. That even you give them a platform at the altar to teach people. That is very powerful. But apart from that, I today we are picking your mind in all the areas that you have excelled in. Yeah, about the youth. I have seen you like going all out. Everybody is complaining about the young people, but for you, you are going all out. The university and all that. Until you are going ni aje wase. Yeah, niko na form, nataka kuwa plug nayo. Until all that. It shows like for you, there's something that you have picked from the youth that maybe other people have not understood. Do you think all what you're doing is one of the ways that we are going to help the youth mature and make healthy choices, move away from alcoholism, drug abuse, femicide, abortion? Maybe that could be one of the ways. What are other things that churches, communities, and even the government can help to tap the energy that you are seeing among the youth, the energy, the courage?
I personally believe that the current young people we have, they are so gifted, so smart, so talented. Anything they commit their heart to do, they execute with precision. And so the question is, how can we nurture these gifted young people into becoming better people for the nation and even for families and for the world at large? And that is where I have decided as a person, and God has laid on my heart as well, to help come in, nurture them, groom them into becoming better versions of themselves. And in bringing this vis-a-vis health issues, I would personally say that ministries and churches should prioritize youth meetings. There are so many churches that youth meetings are completely dead. There is nothing that they are doing for the youth. Because obviously Some people feel like the youth has got nothing to offer, or they are insolent, they are insubordinate. You tell them to do this, they don't do. The only thing is people don't know how to deal with it. If you really learn and make them an asset in the body of Christ, they can do great things.
Yeah.
So the question is, what do we do? How do we manage them into becoming assets to the body of Christ? First, we should teach them.
Yes.
We should educate them on branding themselves, managing themselves, and becoming better versions of themselves, so that not just for the church, but for the world. These days, young people don't just want to hear John 3:16. This is what the Lord said.
Okay.
What can you tell them besides the Bible that can benefit them in the marketplace?
Profound.
Exactly. You see, so, but these days, many churches, sorry to say, or many pastors don't become versatile or dynamic in their approach to the word of God that benefits them. So many young people draw away from church, because if all they know, or all you are telling them, is John 3:16 or Jesus said, sometimes it does not apply to them.
Yes.
So what ministries and churches possibly need to do is to balance the word with personal development teachings that would help them become a better versions of themselves.
Wow.
Sometimes when you even connect the scriptures to teachings that would bring personal development, teachings that would help them on mental health, teachings that will help them on certain therapeutic teachings that would bring them out of drug abuse and substance abuse and all these vices they are going through. Trust me, they embrace it. But if all that we are bombarding them with is John 3:16, what the Bible said, most of the time they literally withdraw.
They want something more practical.
They want something more practical, something that they can relate with, something that is a bit more relational to their day-to-day lives.
Wow.
So I think that is why, for instance, our last university, we brought a panel to talk about femicide, to talk about relationships, to talk about mental health.
Yes.
We are teaching them the word of God, but we need to also bring a balance. With that, trust me, the young people can be educated, transformed to become better versions of themselves, that they will become a blessing to this nation and to the world at large.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish you can repeat that for the people at the back to hear. You need just to increase the volume that in churches, the young people are not only looking for verses in the Bible.
Exactly.
They are looking for more practical, solutions to their daily challenges.
That is it. That is it.
Empowerment. That is amazing.
And let me say this: the reason why most of these people, you talk to them, they don't want to go to church is because they can't relate. They literally can't relate to the pastor. So the pastor is up here, they feel like they are down here, they are afraid to even go tell the pastor would judge them. The pastor would criticize them. But here, I make myself available in such a way that any young person can come and tell me even the weirdest thing that they have done, and they will not feel judged, they will not feel bad about themselves. And I think ministers of God should learn how to be accommodative and not be condemning and critical to these young people, because the moment you tend to be so condemning, hey, you are going to hell, those funny things. Yes, I know if they don't get saved, they will go to hell. But some of the messages we preach and the approach with which
before
we present,
they go to hell, what are the solutions?
Exactly. The way we present the messages, it literally don't even want them to get saved in the first place.
Wow.
So what good are we doing to them in that sense?
And you know what you're saying? It is relating so much even with the messages the public health, the Minister of Health is giving. Before, Ministry of Health used to give scare. They used to use scare method to reach out to people. But right at the moment, that kind of methodology has been, it is outdated. It's obsolete.
Exactly.
So everywhere people should change.
Yeah.
It is more of positivity, more of empowerment, more of capacity.
Exactly.
Wow, that is really so profound to hear what you're doing with the youth and the young people. And I'm sure with that kind of strategy, we are going to, to help them to make the right choices. And I want to share with this, as you're talking, there's something that I remembered. I went in a particular summit, and one of the scientists who was presenting, he was saying one of the key promising interventions for young people, to come out of alcoholism and drug abuse, is involving them in activities like what you're doing in varsity games, because the same pathway that alcohol and other substances take is the same pathway that is taken when you tap in this energy. So it is also scientific.
Powerful,
Yeah,
powerful.
it is also scientific.
Never seen it that way, but that is powerful.
Yeah, that is really good. Now the engineer also. That sounds good. We are not used to engineer.
I know.
Engineer also, but it sounds so great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I said I want to pick your mind in all the areas.
Okay.
Now the engineer also, as an expert, trained, registered engineer, we are living in the times that people are really embrace technology so much, and as even people have embraced technology as such, there are challenges that are coming with that. And one of the challenges is the e-waste. I'm sure when you go to some of the homes right now, you will find them with all types of phones. They have Motorola, they have Nokia 3310. When you go to the offices, there's so much clutter, so many computers, and all the computer-related aspects. And we're having a lot of waste. As an engineer, how can you advise people? Because maybe even some of the waste, it has some radioactive elements or maybe heavy metals in it. What can you advise people regarding e-waste, and also what can you advise governments regarding e-waste?
Well, when you talk about e-waste, okay, first let's somebody who is doesn't possibly know what e-waste is. What is e-waste? E-waste is anything that is electrical, that can be plugged or use a battery, that is disposed. For instance, if I use my phone and I don't want to use it again, any electrical gadget you have in the house that after you've used it and you want to dump it, that becomes a waste. That is what we call e-waste. Now the question is, how do we dispose of e-waste, or what can we educate many people about e-waste? Now the first thing I always say is that I've lived in the UK for quite some time, and in the UK, it's standard. You don't put all waste together.
Oh, separation.
Every home has got 3 different waste. Dustbins. One for food, one for recycling, and one for e-waste, or things, electrical things that we consider quote unquote as e-waste. That you don't just place everything everywhere. So there are 3 different dustbins.
Yeah.
And the council comes to collect them week after week.
Okay.
You understand? So I don't put recycled stuff in the bin that I will put e-waste, or the bin that I will put food. You get a point? So the first thing is that e-waste processes in the components has mercury, cadmium, and lead, and very poisonous elements that actually is very hazardous to water bodies, and even to humans.
Yes.
So the question is, how do we deal with these things so that they don't become an issue to us, and especially within this part of Africa where people throw things everywhere? Number one, I would suggest, if there is a way we can come up with a recycling plant, if, let me say, within every county, it's possible.
Yeah.
Where every e-waste is collected, recycled, most of them can be used. And number one, we will not just be saving the economy or the environment from poison.
Yeah.
We would actually be creating jobs for people. Two, the recycled products can be used into manufacturing other things.
Powerful.
Cost of some of these electrical gadgets is going to come down because we've recycled them.
Yes.
And so many other benefits for the economy, and even for the nation as a whole. So recycling is one main thing that can help reduce e-waste in this country. Number two, we can also talk about the lifespan. What do I mean by lifespan? Lifespan of these electrical gadgets.
Yes.
There are some gadgets that you use 2-3 months, you have to throw away.
Yeah.
That means that if let's say I'm throwing away this phone after every 2 months,
yes,
that means that the amount of phones in the whole nation is going to be amount of e-waste in the whole nation is going to be too many. So what do? What we need to do is to create gadgets or import gadgets into the country that have a longer lifespan, so that we don't have to be throwing them out almost every year, almost every month, or almost every 2 months. Once we are able to create a system whereby we have electrical gadgets that have got a longer lifespan, I believe it helps. And on the third note, one thing we would do is what the first thing I said earlier.
Segregation.
Come again?
The segregation.
Segregation of waste.
Yeah.
If we segregate waste, we are able to handle them and deal with them properly. Let me say, it's going to be something that it's not like a long shot. It's something that can be done if people are educated on the need for it and how the benefits if we manage to segregate our waste. I think with these 3 points: number one, recycling, segregation of waste, and increasing the lives. I mean, importing electrical gadgets that got a longer lifespan, it will help manage this.
Do you know in Kenya already the NEMA Act? It advocates for segregation, and actually they have coded the bins. They have said the green bins should be for the organic matter, the black for general waste. They have coded, but the implementation
It
that's
doesn't
the
work.
problem.
I didn't even know there is an act
There
in
is
this
an
country
act.
like that.
Yeah.
But if you to go to every home, I don't think there are homes here, even in the rich homes, that they segregate waste.
Yeah. I think I've only seen in some malls, there are malls whereby they have put 3 dustbins.
Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. In some
But
malls,
now the question is, then after they have segregated, so what? Where does that waste go?
Exactly.
Again, it is dumped maybe at the same place.
After segregation, then we can talk about recycling.
Yeah.
If the waste that can be recycled is actually recycled, it's going to create another whole business, another whole economic boost even for the nation, because people are going to be working on the recycling plants. There are components of this phone that can still be used into making other phones.
Wow.
Yeah. But the point is, I remember years ago, the first iPhones that came, the very first iPhones that came, I don't remember the component, and it escaped me a bit. You could take it back for them to give you a new one. You just take the old one. That was after many years, because there was some components of that particular iPhone that was no longer being found. So they were actually begging people to bring the old ones, those smaller ones that came. Why? Because they needed not just also save the economy or save the environment. There were components within that iPhone that they needed, that they could recycle to make other phones. Yeah. So I think recycling is a very, very, very good strategy to help manage waste in this country.
And this should just sound like a clarion call, because this waste is increasing day by day. Their offices, they have just set aside a whole room is full of e-waste.
Yeah.
And now there's something you said, that this waste sometimes it contains very heavy metals. You talked about cadmium, you talked about lead
and mercury, actually.
and mercury.
Yeah.
Which also they predispose people to cancer. And maybe we are wondering why the many cases of cancer and the risk factors are in your office, they're in your home. We have to do something as a country. We have to do something. Well, now, Prof, in this show, we normally talk about small doable actions and making a big difference in health. You've traveled so much. You know much about US. You've lived in the UK. You have lived in this part of Africa. What is this one thing that you can tell the government, this is our best practice? And you know about Kenya, especially for our country, Kenya. A best practice that you've picked all over, generally now, that you can say, this one should be implemented in Kenya.
Living in the UK, in terms of best practice of health.
Yes.
I mean, nationwide.
Yes, nationwide, generally.
I think if one thing that is a luxury in the UK that we thank God for, especially those that have lived in the UK, is the national health. They call it NHIS. It's so.
It's called NHIS.
Yeah, it's called.
Like
is it called, sorry, no, it's called NHIS. I think national health. It's just like the one you guys used to have, or what is the SHA or whatever it is that is currently here. It works so well. I mean, you don't go to the hospital to pay any money. Literally, you don't pay any money to go to the hospital in the UK. So imagine, I mean, the ordinary person down there can just go to the hospital and be attended to, like, walk home, feel okay.
That is so a mic dropping moment.
Yeah.
Like everybody, the whole population, you just walk in the hospital. Doesn't matter the kind of condition that you have.
Yeah.
You're treated.
You are
And you
treated.
go
You are treated and you go home. Any ordinary person can go. And I'm praying and trusting God that the SHA that has been introduced would get to that level
Yes.
where ordinary people can go to hospitals without having to pay money or having to, because sometimes people die not really because they need to die, because possibly they don't have what it takes to take care of that particular ailment that they are going through. They may not have money for surgery. They may not have money for maybe chemo. They may not have money for certain things that, if possibly they had money, they would have possibly lived.
Thank you. If you're watching, we are having a conversation with my guest, Prophet, Dr. Prophet Apostle David Owusu, and we're just encouraging people to embrace disease prevention. Before even you say, Serikari's idea, there's something that you can be able to do. And I want to invite you, if you're watching, we want to learn best practices from each other. Maybe in your church, what is that thing, your place of worship, your organization, your institution, what is that small thing that you're doing to be able to promote health or prevent diseases? Is it that, there are hand washing facilities all over? Does your church maybe have a gym? Is it that they do outreaches? Do they have campaigns? What is that thing that you are doing? And at the moment also, we are advocating for period positive workplaces. When I talk about period positive workplaces, I mean maybe workplaces and worship areas whereby the female participants or members are considered, that the management is asking, when the females, they're having their periods, what happened during that time of the month? Is there a bathroom that they can be able to shower? Is there maybe sanitizer, not sanitizers, are there wipes? Are there hand washing facilities? And even most importantly, because periods, they are erratic, in case it happens on a Sunday, is there somewhere that they can buy at a subsidized fee, or do they know maybe they would go to the administrator of the church or the secretary and they can get for that emergency purposes? Let's know. Just comment. What are you doing? Maybe we can learn from each other. So back to
That is powerful. Some of the statements you are making are pretty good. Let me just throw in and say, as a church, some of the things we also do. We do medical camps. Recently, we had a medical camp around here. We had hundreds of people coming, and then the doctors and the nurses in the church, we set up tents outside, and people came to be attended to and being given some small drugs that we could, the pharmacists also among the team could give, were also giving. Some of them, blood pressure check, sugar check. Those are things we do from time to time.
Wow.
And we also have a medical team on standby in church. In case somebody collapses, I don't need to stop preaching and go and pray for the person. The medical team responds immediately to the person. Because I'm not to say we cannot pray for somebody under that circumstance.
You already explained. You said that straight, why we need them.
Yeah, there are certain things we just have to allow the medical professionals to handle.
Thank you. And do you know what you're doing? Learning also not only by hearing, also by observation. There's somebody who just comes to church and just by observing how things are being done, even become orderly. They even ask themselves, it's like a challenge to them. So if in the church I am encouraged to talk to a medical doctor. So I also need to go for treatment promptly without any delay, because delays, they cause complications. So again, on the small doable actions, as a leader who is very passionate about leadership and governance, I know you talk so much on the 80-20 rule. Maybe please you can explain to us what it means, and maybe you can also relate it to the small doable actions that we preach in this channel, and even not only making a difference in health, also in life.
Thank you. I always say, some time ago I was speaking to pastors, and I always say, every ministry, every organization, 80% of your results is as a result of 20% of the people within the organization, or 20% of the things you do. Greater results come out when you pay attention or you prioritize the most important aspects that you need to do. What do I mean by that? If you take our lives as an example, number one, you can do a lot, like myself, if you manage your time properly. Time management as a person, as an organization, as an institution is key. Not just managing time, but prioritizing what is important is very key for you to become productive. Many people waste time, waste resources. Like I always say, if you come to my organization, in my company, in my office, and you're supposed to be working and you are praying, you are fired. You are fired not because prayer is bad.
Really? You're fired?
You are fired. Yeah,
Okay,
because I mean, you are supposed to be working between the 9 to 5 job that you're supposed to be doing. I'm a pastor. I did not call you to come and pray in my business. This is not church. When in our professional corporate world, you are supposed to be working. If you are caught praying at working hours, you are fired. You go home. Why? Because you need to understand priority, prioritizing what is important. Okay. Number two, besides time management and prioritizing what is important, the second thing I would talk about is financial management. It doesn't matter how much money you are giving. If you don't have financial literacy,
Yes.
you are doomed. Poverty would hang around you all the time.
Deep.
It's not like Christians, most Christians, God don't bless them. God blesses them, but they are not financially literate.
And after all, He blesses the work of your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, people need to seek financial education, attend seminars, go for trainings, get information and knowledge that will help you to become financially literate. And that is one of the things the church is failing. I mean, last year, every year I teach on finances.
Yes.
As I take a man to teach. Why? Because besides God and relationships, another problem church people have is money problem. And it is everywhere. And the third thing besides financial literacy I'll talk about is learning, or what I call the science of relationships. As a pastor, if I receive 100 prayer requests in a day, 80% are about marriages.
80%.
I'm telling
marriages.
you, 8 out of 10. Every prayer request I receive on a daily basis is about marriages, relationship. Either my boyfriend is leaving me, or he's not picking my call, or my husband is doing this. Most of the prayer requests we receive on a daily basis as a pastor, most of them are about relationships and marriages. What does that tell you? That tells you the importance of these things in our lives. And what do we need to do? We need to learn and prioritize the people we value. That is our families, our husbands, wives, everybody that God has placed in your life to help you to become a better version of yourself. And many people trivialize the relationships God gives them. It backfires, and now the only solution is to call the man of God to pray for them. My friend, work on your marriage, work on your relationship, work on your children, because if you don't prioritize those things, it will come back biting you. So these three things I leave with you. Number one, managing yourself and your time and prioritizing what is important, because it will make you productive. Number two, financial literacy. Being financially literate will help you it will save you from some prayer and fasting you do. Some of the prayers and fasting we do it as a result of the fact that you are broke, not really because you really need prayer. Number three, managing the people that are closest to your heart, your husband, wife, boyfriend or girlfriend. That is, if you have one. If you don't pray that God gives you one, God bless you.
Small things and simple things that looks simple,
Yeah,
kiddish,
but very important.
but very, very important. And even in health, imagine like the time when there was the COVID
Yeah,
disease,
Yeah.
the epidemic. Imagine something like simple things, hand washing with soap, can be able to prevent
very
such
true.
a deadly
Yeah.
disease. Simple things like just opening the windows.
Windows. Yeah.
Simple things,
True.
clutter, removing clutter from your space.
Very important.
Simple, small things, but they can make a big difference in your life. Prof has reminded you, plan, prioritize, could look kiddish and very simple, but it can change and transform your life. And now as we come to the end of our conversation, Prof, in our country right now, there are so many racist cases of non-communicable diseases, serious diseases, cancer. And I'm sure as a preacher, There are so many people who are
Yeah.
coming to you, pray for us,
Yeah.
even give us money, by the way, pay for our bills and all that. People are so much burdened. They don't know what to do. They're almost throwing in the towel. I would want you to encourage and say something to that group of people. That person who is living with a chronic illness, cancer, diabetes-related complications, lupus, Parkinson's disease, or heart disease, all those conditions. They feel now they are coming to an end. And then there's another group. Nobody talks about this group, the caregivers. They are overwhelmed. They have, diminished all the family resources. They do not know what next. They are just asking, who can talk to me? Who can give me hope? Kindly talk to that group of people.
On a last note, one thing I would like to say to anybody that is unwell, anybody that is in a situation where you feel like your sickness or your ailment cannot even get cured, this is what I would say. The word of God is still true. Isaiah 53 verse 3, the Bible says, by his wounds we were healed. By his stripes, Christ took all those stripes added back to effect healing in our body. I pray and I trust God that the healing power of God will touch you wherever you are. Even if you have lost hope, just keep believing and have faith in the Lord that he is able to heal, to deliver, and to set you free. The book of Isaiah says that he himself will heal our wounds. I pray, may the Lord himself heal every sickness, every infirmity in your body. And those caregivers that are doing their best to even hold these ailing ones up, may the Lord keep you and may the Lord bless you. May the Lord grant you faith even as you do this work. And may the Lord strengthen you. That as you do for others, God will cause others to do for you. May the Lord keep you and strengthen you. And I strongly believe by the time we meet again, you would have said, that prayer healed me. That prayer changed my life. May God bless you. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much. That has been so valuable. And now your final words, your parting shot, what would you say?
I would say, I mean, this is quite an interesting and educative channel that you are creating. And I pray that many people would connect with it.
Thank you.
And because you don't find people give themselves for such a cause. And like I said, this is disease prevention. Before even you get it, what are some of the things that needs to be done to help you so that you don't even get there? And may the Lord bless you also for bringing this up. And I pray that many others would connect to this channel. And if you this today is your first time, I personally would encourage you to subscribe, because this may be a tiny bit of information you need. There are other knowledge that you might also get from the channel, from other speakers and other guests that she would have, that would be a blessing unto you. So God bless you and keep watching this channel. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much for watching. That is all the time that we had. I know it has been so enlightening and you have been so much inspired by the kind of wisdom that Dr. Owusu has shared with us today. Churches also can be places of public health promotion, can prevent diseases, promote health, and protect the lives of individuals. Thank you for watching. But before we go, Professor, will we end this show? We go, prevention is better and cheaper than cure all the time.
Okay.
All the time. We can go together.
Okay.
Prevention is better and cheaper than cure all the time. All the time. It is small doable actions making a big difference in health. And of course, niaje wase Prof and I tuko na form tunataka kuwa plug nayo, tupatane hii Sunday church, tujibambe ndani ya God. Kosa uchekwe. I learned that from Dr. Owusu, and of course I would say stay safe, but my guest would say stay blessed. Stay safe.
Stay blessed.
Bye for now.